Hey, how's it going, guys and girls, or whomever is here today? It is me, Captain Energy, and today I am here contemplating the holidays and the year that has passed so far. I've been working on some tracks. Let's give you guys a little listen to that if you'd like. But basically, I mean, right now, this year has been just a blur. I can't believe that it's Christmas again. I mean, I don't know. It just feels like it's gone by really, really fast. I don't know if anyone else feels that way, but most people I've talked to actually have said pretty much shared the same feeling that I'm having with all this, and that is that the past year just whipped right by and didn't really have any time to absorb much of it between the pandemic and working remote and doing YouTube and all the things that have popped up in my family life, which has been this year has been a complete and total mess. Uh, you know, between that, it's just been crazy. So I don't want to get into the family life stuff, but basically, it's been a very confusing year with a lot going on, and here we are now again at Christmas and trying to find that kind of holiday spark, I guess you could say, that makes Christmas worth being part of. And I mean, it's definitely there. I mean, and I gotta shout out to my kids for kind of helping me along with that. Um, Without getting into too much detail, I mean, basically we've done Christmas lights and we've got the tree up, we got all the things going on. I'm even doing the not that obviously my kids are older, but for the sake of the younger ones, we've even got an elf on the shelf going on still. I can't believe that that elf keeps coming back, even though you know what I'm saying. Even though the kids have grown up, she's still hanging around for the younger ones apparently, who come and visit and enjoy seeing her hanging around. So I mean, you try and sometimes being part of the holidays takes a little effort, um, and I'm always game to try and put forward some effort to try and make things a little better than they are. And this year has presented some extra challenges to me on a personal level. I mean, if I'm going to be honest with you guys, I just recently found out that my position will be no longer required at my current job coming up soon. So I am looking for a replacement position. I actually did apply to something at Cherry Audio, which I haven't heard back from. But hey, Cherry Audio, if you hear this video, I'm that guy, and I would love to hear from you guys to do that support position. Um, so let me know. But yeah, the I've been applying a few different places, and I'm waiting to hear back on a couple things. I've got a month, and generally, I usually land on my feet. When if things happen, whatever, it's just life. But it's still a little nerve wracking, especially with the holidays coming up. Now, fortunately, before this all happened, I got my Christmas shopping pretty much taken care of. I've got a few things I still need to grab, but what are you gonna do? One disappointment, I'll tell you, was that I had an RD9, Behringer RD9, the 909 remake, on hold. I've had that thing on hold, honest to God, probably since February of 2021. And I just got the call saying, hey, your RD9 is in. Should I ship it to you? And I got this from my guy at Sweetwater, Shout out to Rob Kramer, Sweetwater Sound. Love you guys. Calls me to let me know it's in. I can get it. And I'm like, damn it. I just found out I'm not going to have a position in a few, weeks, basically. And not that, $350 is going to make or break me, per se. But I'd rather have $350 and not need it than need it and not have it. So I said, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to decline for now. I'll have to wait and order again reorder, put me on the next list type thing, which won't be till allegedly maybe June or so before they see them again. So at this rate, I'm never getting an RD9, and that's okay, whatever. Hey, how's it going, Ivan? But that's all right. I mean, reality is, in this day and age, I keep saying all these like DAWless, producers, and that's fantastic. I love doing the DAWless thing, and it does feel super creative to just whip out some little device and be able to produce music. You know what I mean? But sometimes I just think to myself, man, everybody's buying all these crazy little things when all you really need is a DAW. If you have a digital audio workstation, you've got everything you need. So when people say to me, what do I need to, start producing music? I need monitors, I need this, I need that, I need headphones, yes, you do need an audio interface. You do need a computer. You do need a digital audio workstation or a DAW. I would recommend monitors over headphones, but if you're in a situation where headphones are what you can afford, and monitors aren't really on the the list for you, then just get some good headphones. I use Beyerdynamics or these Yamahas, and these Yamahas are amazing. They're as good as, I'd say they're pretty much almost as good as using NS10Ms. So I don't know, they're pretty flat. Oh, no worries, man. I'll be here. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just chatting at the world here, or whoever sees this video later. But yeah, so basically, in a nutshell, the RD9 was gone in a second. I called back. I mean, as soon as I said no, I'm just jumping back to the story real quick. As soon as I said no, I went upstairs and talked to my wife real quick, and she said, oh, so what are you going to get for Christmas this year? Blah, blah, blah. So I said, well, I was going to get, this drum machine, but I decided I don't want anything this year after what's going on with the position, my job, So she says, oh, well, I put some money aside and I was going to buy you something. How much was it? So I told her the price, and she says, that's right in the range of what I wanted to spend. So I said, okay. So I went to call back and say, cancel, and I guess I'll take that, whatever. But it was already gone because they had oversold the product. So now I need to wait till June or July, if I'm going to get one at all. But the whole thing of what I was getting at, though, is that, do I really need an RD9? That's a question I wrestle with, because gear lust, man, it's real. Like lusting after and wanting gear. Look at the room behind me if you can see what I've got going on here. I have got gear all around me. I've got an 808 knockoff. I've got the RD8 from Behringer, which is very good also. I've got their 606. I've got 303s. I've got audio. I've got a lot of synthesizers. I don't have a lot of effects because I don't buy effects, because I use VST effects. I don't know, man. I just don't see the point in having a million little teeny pedals around. I get that it goes hand in hand with the hardware thing. So you're either a hardware person in a lot of ways or a software person. I'm a hybrid. I take like my sound cards. I have my Scarlett over here, and then over on the other side of me, I've got my Focusrite Pro 40. I forget the exact model name, but that I use that one with my Mac a lot. And what I'll do is I'll set up effects on that and use that as basically a big effects unit. So it's like I just use it as a DSP. I don't really need a lot of pedals and that type of thing. But when you think about it, so when I really think about it, drum machines and all that kind of thing, I really don't need the RD9 either, because really, that's just a nostalgic want at this point. I would love to have one, but I don't need one. It's not really a requirement. I can create all the sounds that are on the RD9 here with Reason or with Cubase or whatever, or I can buy a sample pack. I've learned a lot about developing sound design, that type of thing. I've basically been making my own sounds for like a year and a half now. I've pulled away from pre-built packs. And I just don't think that I need that device. So, I mean, really, reality is, think about before you spend money on stuff that you don't need. be sure you look at the whole situation. You know what I mean? Look at what you've got already. I mean, I've got at least 4 keyboards, maybe 5 in here that all have some variation of an 808, a 909, a 707, a 606. I mean, it's just not really realistic that I need to buy more. You know, I think I've got almost too much gear. I should say, you know, I mean, that's where I'm at right now. I've really started to look at what I've got going on here and trying to optimize what I use, what I don't use, put the stuff aside that I don't use that much, and really thinking about, do I need to keep this around, or is it just taking up space in the room? So, and then there are a couple things I'll never get rid of. My CS1X, my AN1X, probably my CS6X. All 3 of those have very high levels of sentimental value. My Ovation guitar, my wife bought me that for Christmas one year, and I thought I'd die. That thing I will never ever part with. So even though I barely play it anymore, you know what I mean? But it's because I play mostly synthesizers nowadays. But I love that guitar, and the thought behind that she gave me that guitar, and the whole that moment of receiving that guitar is kind of frozen in it. When I look at that guitar and I hold that guitar, I feel kind of like, yeah, this was a very special gift, you know? Anyway, so what do you, I'd like to know if you know, you guys, if there's something special you're looking for Christmas, and why you think you need it or why you want it, put it in the comments, or throw it in the chat if you're here or whatever. I mean, I'm just curious if there's some piece of gear that you think would make your productions better, and why you think that it would make them better. I personally, right now, like I said, I'm in a pretty good place, and I did I'll say sort of, I mean, it's not the perfect sampler in some ways. I mean, I would love to have something much better. Like, for example, I've really been, one of the pieces of gear I've been, you know, gear lusting after has been the Akai Force, especially with the new release of their software. That device really has my attention, because it's like an MPC or MPK. MPC. Always do that. MPK and MPC always confuse me for some reason. I've got the keyboard, the MPK. It's right here, actually. My hand is on it. But the MPC, I don't have an MPC. And I don't have a hardware sampler except for my Innovation Circuit Rhythm. And the thing is, playing with the Circuit Rhythm is kind of enough. I don't think I need more. It reminds me of back in the days of making mods. And if you know what mods are, like you've done any of the tracker type tracks, back in the day, were very techno-y, very like, you know, you would sample what you actually wanted to play. There wasn't a lot of pitch control. It wasn't like a real instrument per se. It ended up getting there eventually, but you were very limited in what you could play as an instrument. And that's kind of what is going on with the Circuit Rhythm. I would put it in a very close proximity to I can't think of the name of the unit, but the tracker that's out there. It's like $600 now. I think it went down $50. It was $650, and that device looks really nice. And I was eyeballing it, and I was thinking about it, and I ended up going with this based on price. I mean, at $400 at the time when I got it, and now reduced to $300. I'm not sure if that's a permanent price reduction. I'm hearing it's till the end of December. So if you're thinking of getting one, if you're thinking of getting a Circuit Rhythm, don't hesitate. You're saving $100 right now. And they just released 6 new sample packs for it, and they're really good. I like all of the new sample packs. So, I mean, it's a great purchase. It's a good buy, and I think you really, if you're looking for a sampler, you would kind of, it's hard to say. I guess maybe it's not for everybody. The thing about it versus a sampler like the MPC, again, man, one of these days I'll remember. The difference between that and like an MPC is that the MPC is one of the things you can do with the MPC is you can do chords on a sample. So if I brought in a piano sample, I could play, a C chord or a D chord or an F chord, whatever. But with the circuit rhythm, it is monophonic per channel. Now, that doesn't mean you can't play chords with it. What you need to do is you need to plan ahead. And basically, rather than, actually, let me show you. I'll show you right here. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So rather than, if I wanted to, there we go. All right, if I wanted to take an instrument that actually plays chords, this is not one of them. All right, we'll use this. It's not a beautiful instrument. We're going to do a little tweak because I think. All right, there we go. If I wanted to use this on my circuit rhythm, what I would do is first I would think, am I going to use it as an instrument? Am I going to try and play leads with it? If I am going to try and play leads with it, then I would go over here to C3 and I would mark a C3. Okay, just one single note. That would give me kind of a root note to low enough, high enough. You want to go kind of, if you think you're going to go to like, say, whatever, C4, C5, this is my kind of mentality here. I find a note that is about 2 octaves or an octave and a half lower than I'm going to need maximum, and an octave and a half to 2 octaves higher than I'm going to need low, if you know what I'm saying. So directly in the middle of a 3 to 4 octave range, and usually on a C. I usually do C. And then what you do is you just, in reason anyways, how you do it, I would take this and I would just go, let's take this, turn the snap down here. We'll put on quarters. And let me shape this down a little bit here. And now I would take that and that's ready to be exported. But now if I wanted, say, to be able to do actual chords with it, if I wanted to do chords on the device, what I would have to do is I'd have to put this across 3 different channels to do a 3-note chord and play 1 note of each chord on the rhythm, which is, I mean, it's doable. Pardon me. But the other side of it is that it's impractical because you've only got 8 channels. So now you've wasted essentially 2 channels. What you should do, or what you can do, and what I do is I go in here and I go, okay, so C chord, we got C, and now we need an E, and then we need a G. Yeah, right, there we go. Now we'll take this and we'll bring it out to the about same area. There's my C chord. Now, what you can do with this is you can, if you want to humanize it a little bit, you could turn off the snap here and take your notes and slide them just a little bit. It's not too noticeable, but it's just a little bit different. And maybe you want to even drag these ends just a smidge to give them a slightly different lift off at the end of the note, just to give it. There you go. Now that's kind of humanized a little bit, you know? What I do next is I go out here, close that. So now I see everything right here, and I'll right click this. And if I bounce this in place, now what happens is I've got a chord that plays that. It's just a chord that's grouped into basically a sample. I would export this sample. Now it's kind of a bit of work, honestly, here, but it is a good way to get around this problem. If you don't have a DAW and you're just using your circuit rhythm, what you can do is you can sample from the circuit rhythm, and then what you would do is you would set that up the way that I said, the three notes on one across the different channels, and record from the circuit rhythm to a 4th location. I'll have to show you how to do that physically, because that's kind of It's a neat trick. But you can then create the chords you need, put them each on different samples, and because of what they call sample flipping, you can kind of emulate the ability of having way more chords possible. Throw a little reverb on those, and it'll fix the tail problem, because the tail gets cut off when the next note hits on a channel. So if you do everything on channel 1, for example, every time another sample triggers, the previous sample gets cut off. Okay. A little reverb will fix that tweak. Hey, Ivan, you're back, man. But that's just a pretty cool little trick there. Anyway, so yeah. But one of the other things I was looking at this past week regarding the whole Christmas and holiday season type thing, not necessarily just Christmas, whatever holiday you guys are into or whatever, I mean, got all kinds of holiday season type things to do right now this time of year. I mean, I've got Jewish friends who are going to be doing Hanukkah. I've got friends who celebrate Kwanzaa. I've got friends who are Wiccan. So it's whatever, just doing their thing. But yeah, whatever you do, that's your whole, do what you want to, religion wise or holiday wise. But it's to celebrate the holiday this time of year. This year, it's been a little weird. It just seems very, very. I don't know. I guess underwhelming to some degree, with all that's going on in the world, especially right now when they're all everything you see on the news is terrible. You got this new variant of COVID, which I don't want to get into because I don't want to get blocked. But I mean, that's got me a little concerned. I'm going to get my new booster shot again on the 16th. So if I'm not streaming on the 17th, I apologize. That just means I probably am passed out in bed with a fever and chills and whatnot. Because I'm also braving the flu vaccine at the same time, so that's going to be crazy. But yeah, I right now, that's like I said, back to the Force, the Kai Force. That thing is insane. And I don't know what that means. I'm sorry, man. Something about tech. And I apologize that I don't know how to say a name, but hey, welcome to the stream. Yeah, dude, the news, it's all shock value, I feel like, anymore. Everyone's hating on everything, and it's just like the world is, sometimes you just feel like the world is falling apart, which really stinks, but what are you going to do? It's just, just got to kind of live through it and see what happens next, I guess. But yeah, I was looking at doing a Christmas track, and I was actually thinking of taking like an old-timey type Christmas track and like breaking it down, but I'm not sure that I think I might get, copyright strikes or copyright something against me. So I'm not sure how to go about that legally on YouTube, because I know how to do it legally in the real world. I could get a license to do it. I don't feel like paying for it right now because of the situation with my job just recently changing. But yeah, so if anyone has done any kind of Christmas type track that you want to share or whatever for the sake of the community, whatever, let me know. Just shoot me a link. I'll post it so you guys can get some recognition. Maybe I'll play it on one of the streams. I am thinking of doing an instrumental of something. I'm not quite sure what yet. Maybe, We Wish You Merry Christmas or Jingle Bells or something super common that probably won't result in me getting, in trouble. Obviously I'm not going to do Mariah Carey's song. That would be terrible in the sense that I'm sure that would get shut right down, and I would get I would be slapped with the mighty hand of YouTube. So that would be awful. But yeah, something old timey, something that the kids sing in pageants or something. Maybe even a religious track type thing, like like Little Town of Bethlehem or Silent Night or something. But I did last year on my Christmas broadcast type thing. I did an electronic Christmas track that I converted, and that didn't result in any problems. So I mean, I don't think if I go back far enough, nobody cares. Um, I think if I use Bing Crosby, I might get in some trouble. So I mean, I'm not sure if I went that if that would be far enough to use his vocals or whatever. I was thinking of doing that. I can't think of the name of it, but the Hawaiian Christmas song. I tip my tongue, but it's but yeah, because I was taking that apart and I was thinking, hey, it'd be pretty cool to take that and just run it through spectral layers, pull out the vocals, and make a cool like house track out of it, or a cool like electronic track out of it. Hey Ivan, so what do you getting? You do anything for Christmas? You getting? Or do you do Christmas? Just curious. I mean, I imagine you do. We've talked about a couple things before that makes me think you do Christmas, but wonder if you're getting any gear and what you might be looking for. Um, anyway, but yeah, this trick I did over here, by the way, with the samples. Uh, what you would do then, because that unit holds up to I think 256 samples, you could prepare your song in a way that basically you did all your chords, maybe your 4 or 5 chords, whatever you needed, on an instrument, uh, on 4 or 5 buttons, basically, and still have on that same channel, you could still have the actual instrument here as a playable solo instrument, and just use one channel for all that. Haven't started Christmas shopping yet. Yeah, man, you definitely want to. I mean, just not for nothing, but I don't know what you're looking to get, but it is brutal out there right now. I was just saying my my RD9, which I was hoping to get. Um, I just noticed something here. I'm gonna fix something real quick. The the RD9, which I was hoping to get, ended up. There we go. I have my logo on there twice. I just realized I forgot to put that one on YouTube that shows up in the bottom right uh, programmatically, so that'll hide the Captain Energy one now. Um, but yeah, the RD9, which I'd been waiting for, I hesitated, we'll say. I came back and it's gone. And now it's like you gotta wait till June. So if you're looking, there's a lot of things right now that are just like disappearing. Electronics, especially, it's so hard to get anything electronic right now. Musical stuff is really really hard to find. Anything you'd want anyway. There's a lot of the stuff you could care less about. Actually, I'll say that about in my case anyway. When I go to Guitar Center has become kind of a joke because at least my Guitar Center has. I don't know how yours is, but Guitar Center, you go in there and you go to Pro Audio, and Pro Audio has become consumer audio. I don't know why they even call it Pro Audio anymore, because you go in there and every keyboard they have is a PSR, which is the personal or Porta Studio. That's the Yamaha or Casio home keyboards. $400 or less, and they have a trillion sounds on them, and they're fine, but they're absolutely not what anyone who's a pro is going to buy. You know, anyone who's well, maybe they will, maybe just to monkey around with the type thing, mess around with it, but you're not going to buy it to use in your studio. And to me, that's what pro audio is. Those PSRs and those kind of synthesizers are kind of a Christmas thing. You know what I mean? They show up at Christmas and they go away after Christmas. But that's all they've got at my Guitar Center right now. And that's all they've had for I don't know, the past almost 2 years, even through the entire pandemic. I get that stuff's hard to get, but they have nothing. I mean, you can buy monitors, which they have some various monitors. I'm not going to take that away from them. They have some Yamaha monitors. They have KRKs. They've got a few other manufacturers. I can't remember all of them. Sterling. But amps, not that much. Speakers, that whole section's kind of garbage. What they got going on in there. As far as keyboards, all they've got is Yamaha like home like keyboards, which are fine for that purpose, and controllers. There's not really even any. I mean, like when I go in there, I almost had a heart attack when I saw Mo DX in there, and it was used. That's the only reason they ever have anything decent in there is because some poor soul decided to shuttle there from his studio and sell it to them, which is like you just losing a ton of money. Hey, if you're looking for that, if you're I was mentioning earlier, if you're looking for a sampler, I don't know if you are or not, if you're looking for like a Dollars type sampler, that the one I use, the Circuit Rhythm, is on sale right now for $300. Just so you know, I'm not trying to push it because you do what you want to do. If it's not right for you, it's not right for you. But I like it, and it was $400 when I got it, and now it's $300, and I think that's till the end of the month. And if you buy it at or it's not Guitar Center. Why would I even say that? They don't have anything in Guitar Center. I'd have to buy it from their online presence, which is fine too. But personally, I do like the one thing I do like about Guitar Center is the ability to go in there and see what's what. But that has become less and less of a possibility because their inventory is such trash. I mean, they've got cables, they've got microphones, but you can't try out any of the microphones thanks to COVID-19 because they're all like covered in plastic bags or taped off, so they don't want people like talking into them, putting COVID-19, virus into the microphone, so it's there for someone else to get. Obviously, that makes sense to me. But they got some headphones. Most of the stuff they have in the Pro Audio now is gimmicky, like little crappy portable turntables, like a $50 turntable or something that converts your vinyl to USB or whatever. I don't even know anymore. It's just junk. But let's see, Circuit Rhythm. There we go. Yeah, like they have this. Never mind. The price already went back up. It was $299 just yesterday, I believe. It's not $399. Now it's $399. Sorry, guys. I guess that we missed that deal. But I paid $399 for mine. And it was well worth it. I don't know, but $299 was just like whoa! I couldn't believe it. I was actually thinking of grabbing a second one, but I didn't for a couple reasons. Well, there were several reasons for not buying a second one. I was pretty much planning to buy a second one to put on eBay and maybe sell it, over Christmas type thing. Just put it up there on my eBay account and just sell it for like whatever. If I could get, if they run out, which there aren't many left in the market right now. They're running out of stock from what I've heard. And anybody who wants one, I wasn't going to price gouge somebody, but I figured I could make $50 on it, sell it for like $350 plus shipping. But then I thought about it, and I'm like, for $50, is it really worth all the trouble of dealing with eBay? I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. But every time I've done anything with eBay, selling anything, it's has not been worth the effort. For a onesie twosie sale type thing. I'm not like a guy who sells like 20 or 30 things on eBay. I sell like, I've got this microphone that I want to get rid of, so I'll put it on eBay at a discounted price, and then someone comes on and they bid for it, and I end up getting $12 more than my minimum or something, and then then I got to go to FedEx or UPS and ship the thing, and the first time I did it, I didn't know about the shipping costs. It was going to cost like $50 or something to ship this thing that I sold for $35. I'm like, dude, How is that even possible? And I ended up doing it with U.S. mail, and it was to Hawaii, and the guy was happy with it when he got it. I sold a Lexicon sound audio device, audio plug type thing, unit, like a USB audio device. Oh, the Peak is sick, dude. Yeah, I know. I mean, that's me too. It is too much money, and I couldn't swing that right now. Yeah, I wouldn't even when I was, at the top of my game. I probably wouldn't have swung for that. The most I've spent, I have one keyboard I've spent a lot on. One flagship keyboard. Um, Everything else is kind of like it's a cool, device to me. It's something I like, but my montage. And to be honest, that thing is underutilized in my hands. I mean, I don't know. I love it and it sounds amazing, and I'll never get rid of it because it's just the best keyboard I have. It's the best keyboard I'm ever gonna have, um, in my opinion. At least for me. I mean, I'm never gonna spend that kind of money on a keyboard again. So I mean, I bought their 60 key one, and that was still like $3,000 at the time. But I got a good deal on it, open box, from Sweetwater. Um, oh, sorry to reply to this. That's just my wife. But yeah, I mean, I got a good deal on an open box from Sweetwater, and they gave me a really good deal on that and a stand. And I had a big cash influx at that moment from some projects that I did on the side. So I was like, screw it. I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna buy this keyboard this one time. I'm gonna spend this kind of money on one keyboard. And yeah, I mean, and I'm not sorry I did. I am, however, a little that about a year and a half, 2 years later, they brought out the Mo DX, which is essentially the same thing as what I got, but with half the voice capability for I think it was like $1,500. Um, and the 6 is what I'm looking at. That'll be yeah, here we go. That's now they've actually reduced the price on these. It looks like too. Now it's $13.99. I don't know. I think it was more than that before, but I thought this was $14.99. I thought this was $17.99, and then this was $19.99 still. Um, that's the one with weighted keys. But basically, this unit would have covered my needs, and it does all the same things, but it's just like half of the capabilities of the Modi or the montage. Um, and I could have saved half the money, but I didn't. Um, yeah, but this thing's sick. I mean, this unit actually does quite a bit. It's got audio in, audio out. It can be used as an effects unit. Um, Now, it's funny because I could swear there's a way to sample with this thing, but when you look at it, everyone's saying it's not a sampler, but it does play samples, which I don't understand uh, what they mean by it's not a sampler. I don't know if they mean that it doesn't allow you to actually sample and edit samples in it like you could with the MPC or something else. You can't really sample into it. I think it's more of a sample player where you can dump stuff down and that type of thing. It doesn't have any sample RAM. It pulls stuff right off the thumb drive, I believe. You put the thumb drive in and you bring it in, and you can copy it into RAM, but it's not like sampling RAM. It's just RAM. Whatever's there is there for patches or samples or whatever you put into it. It's not dedicated sampling RAM. Oh, the Hydrosynth. Yeah, that's another one that sounds good. You know, I was looking at this whole thing. I don't know if you check out Venus Theory at all on YouTube, but he's been talking about this, the VCV. This is pretty interesting stuff because it's a modular type setup. It's all virtual, um, and the thing I think is cool about it, we go to the free stuff right here. I'm thinking of looking into this because in Reason, um, with the ability to do combinators, modular is kind of I think modular is a hard sell in my opinion. You've got to be. Let me look at this. It's just a little overwhelming in my opinion. You look at all these knobs, you look at all these sliders and jacks all over the place. It's not the kind of thing you can enter into lightheartedly and just be like, I'm going to make a patch. No, it's the kind of thing you look at and you go, you spend your entire Saturday, and by the end of the day, you've got like, you know, not a lot to show for it. I feel like, it just seems the kind of thing that's going to take a lot of time to really understand what is going on, and use it. So I was actually looking at this and thinking, what would be cool is to take this type of gear, shove this as a VST into Reason, and then rewrap that as a combinator too, and then make it like a nice instrument, something nice that you could use. Of course, there are still flaws to that theory, or to that idea, but it's not a bad idea. I mean, it's just not it's not too practical in a way. I'm just trying to think of ways to push that whole thing. I actually did have one of my subscribers talk to me about my theremin, the theremin I did for Halloween. And the theremin, I'm going to bring that in here real quick. Let's go over to my scratch drive. Did I do it? Spelled it fun. Yeah, it's not there. It's gotta find it. The downside of creating things. Sometimes you just like put them in places and you think you know where you put them, but you really I don't remember. I'll just search for that on another window while I think here where I put it. But anyway, he was asking if I had he tried to use it and he said he got a incompatible version message. And I'm like, well, are you using Reason 12 or Reason Plus? And he said no. So I'm like, okay, well, that will do it. There you are. Where are you hiding? File location, boom. There you are. Bring this right in here. All right. Let's take a look at this for a second. All right, there's the theremin. Now, honestly, this was done in pretty much a very simple way. I didn't really use the Combinator 2 features. It only looks like that because it was in done in Reason. I'm sorry, it only says it's Combinator 2 because I did it in Reason 12. So this unit, let's look inside here, could, very easily, I could convert this to a, actually it's just the Europa here. I could convert this to a regular combinator. Let's see. I think I've got Reason open actually. If I've got the Reason 11 open, I guess I don't. Another question is, can I open Reason 11 when I have Reason 12 open? I don't know if that'll actually happen. It might be one of those applications that prevents duplicate. Yep, it's not letting me open it. That's not a problem though. I'm gonna actually convert that for this guy just because it's just so simple what I've got going on here. Let me save this. All I need to do really is save this out. Put it right here in the root of my scratch disk. Sorry. All right, let's just close Reason for a minute here. And this is the track I'm working on right now. Let me just save that. Yeah. Welcome to the desktop from hell. Got a couple things open. Yeah, a couple icons on my screen. No, it's Reason 12. That's not right. Do I have Reason 11 still installed? I thought I did. Propel head. There's Reason 11. There we go. I don't need the rack extensions. I just need this to be set up. Go. Of course, it wants to check all my VSTs because that's just the way, as they say on The Mandalorian, this is the way. They just want to know everything I have on my machine, but yeah, that Hydrosynth, I was gonna say, I feel like I've seen that on I forget whose channel it was. That might have been Venus Theory that did that too. Yeah, there you go. Oh, they got a dude. Have you thought about the desktop version of this or the Explorer? What is going on here? That's not a terrible price. $5.99. 8-voice digital polyphonic aftertouch keyboard. All the power of the Hydrosynth in a portable format. In case you want to check that out, there you go. That looks like a really nice, I don't know. I haven't actually, this is new. I haven't, it's a pre-order, so it's not actually in yet. Who knows when it will be, but sounds pretty good. Looks like they plasticed it up a little bit or something. I don't know, but still, if you're using it at home, if you're not performing, $5.99. That's not horrible. Let's see. I'm taking a look here at the dashboard of it. You've got so he's got 6 envelopes, 2 filters, amp prefix, delay, reverb, post effects. You've got 5 LFOs, 3 oscillators, and a ring and noise generator. Let's see. Yeah, I can't really read that. That's a little too small and too blurry. But I don't know. That might be a nice answer to a problem. Or you can go with the see that's the 8 voice digital polyphonic aftertouch. Okay. Well, $7.99 for the desktop version, which is that was gonna be my solution to you. I was gonna say, hey, well, what about the desktop version? Because I think there's a cheaper version that doesn't have the keyboard on it. And then of course the $1,200 and $1,800 versions here, so $1,300 whatever. I don't know, man. $600 though. That's might be a smoking deal. And then they got the this one here. That's 16 voice. So basically, that's 2 of them essentially, and 73 key keyboard. And this one has the mini keys on it, which I personally, man, I'm kind of digging the mini keys. You get a little more reach. I don't have giant spider fingers, I mean, if I did, I'd be a bass player. Yeah. I do like the smaller keyboards, especially considering the space factor, taking up less space. I was looking at one of those. You've probably seen them there. They're everywhere. They have these shelves that are like they're like meant to be bookshelves, but they're slightly angled as they go up, and the shelves become slightly thinner at the top, and then at the bottom they're big or thick shelves. I was actually looking at one of those, thinking, man, I could probably fit a lot of my half width, my short mini keyboards on one of those, and they would look nice and at the same time be accessible. Where right now they're on a shelf, most of them are sideways with foam between them, protecting them from banging into each other. Um, the ones I'm not using are just put away. I can't keep everything out because it'd just be ridiculous. Also, just the waste of electricity for all the wall warts plugged in for devices I'm not using would be just ridiculous. I'm trying to be a little more environmentally conscious here too. I love when they do that though. Take a big keyboard and make a smaller version that's like, hey, it's all the sounds, all the capabilities, sounds great, and it's half the price, but it's just because I mean, reality is that you can go out and buy yourself a nice controller, and take this controller and be like, all right, I'm going to map all these knobs and sliders out to that device, and I'm going to have myself, full size keyboard on a miniature or desktop size device that, I saved a bunch of money buying. And you lose a little bit of the interface, I guess. There's maybe a little disconnect, but overall, I mean, I like doing that type of thing. Especially this particular controller, I just love this thing. This is the Akai MPK 249, and it is definitely, I'll say, my favorite keyboard for controlling other keyboards, because it's 49 keys, not too many, not too few. I get my sliders right here. I got 8 sliders. I got 8 knobs. You've got drum pads if you want to use them, because I do like the drum pads when I'm doing any kind of drum type sounds. It's a nice to be able to do some finger drumming rather than having to reach all over the keyboard to find. It's easy to keep track of where the cymbal is and where the clap is when it's on a set of 4x4 pads than it is across an octave and some change, an octave and 4 keys. Also, the factor that the drum pads stay at the correct octave all the time. Whereas if I transpose my keyboard or shift it up an octave or down an octave to get a different set of keys, now my drums are crazy and they're either moved up an octave or down an octave or they're off the keyboard completely. With the drum pads, it's locked to the octave where the drums are, so that's a nice factor. But yeah, but so what I was saying earlier though was, I see a lot of like people buying, synths and that type of thing, and me too. I mean, everybody does it. We're all victims of the marketing and everybody wanting us to spend money. But I mean, I sit and I think to myself sometimes, do I really need a lot of this stuff, or could I just walk away with, my? I'll say if I were to go minimum, I would say my computer. I would probably take my headphones and my monitors, my Scarlett from Focusrite, and I would probably take my MPK with me, just because it gives me the most versatility as a controller, and that is really my sort of minimum. Because I'd take my computer, I'd have Reason or Cubase, and that's pretty much it. And then I have a ton of synthesizers on there. If you've got, if you've got Vital, you've got more than enough synthesizers, and that's free. Of course, you can contribute, which I actually do contribute to that, which I've got to actually shut that off for now, just because of recent financial changes here. But if you contribute to it, you get free patches and stuff, updates and that type of thing, and you help push the project forward, which I think is a great thing to do, especially for a project like Vital. When you think of it like in terms of I'm giving him, I think $5 a month, that's $60 a year. That's not terrible. You know what I mean? It's $60 a year for synth that I would definitely pay that to keep it updated, and at the same time, it helps kind of everybody by doing that. My contribution helps you who didn't pay for it get him to keep it free, so that other people who can't afford to swing $60 a year, because there are people who can't. And I feel bad, and it gives me kind of an opportunity to help the entire community by donating a few dollars to the development of that synthesizer. It's such a great synth. Oh, no worries, Ivan, man. That's just the usual, I gotcha. I'm just going on. But yeah, it's just, I just like to help people out if I can. So, what I'm going to do real quick here is I'm going to, we're in Reason 11 right now. And the reason I'm in Reason 11 is because the combinator factor. Since I am using what am I thinking here? Since the combinator that I did in with the Thurman for Halloween was a Reason 12 combinator, this one person who's a Reason 11 user and subscriber couldn't use it. So what I'm going to do real quick, I think, maybe not real quick, hopefully it's real quick, we'll see, is I'm going to take that synthesizer, and we're just going to drag this in here and see if and there it is. All right, now I just need to map these knobs, and this is where it might be a little tricky, and only because I don't remember what I mapped them to. Okay, so it's not starting Reason because I think it thinks that it's already open. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here. Get rid of this frame. Yeah, see ya. I don't want that floating around. There's nothing that you're going to see on there that I'm worried about. It's just it's my nephews and my nieces and my son, and I just don't feel like having that up on the internet. So yeah, okay, that's not let me start it. I guess what I'll have to do is I'll have to go in to a separate event, and so what we'll do is I'm going to save this out real quick. All right, boom. This is going to get tedious if I have to keep doing this, but we'll just do it for a minute here. So now we'll go back over here. I'm just literally right now, I have a subscriber who was, I'll say, kind of sad that they couldn't use the theremin because it was a Combinator 2 theremin and he's got Reason 11. And I was just saying how I try and help people out when they're, if I can help you find a sound or whatever, I'll probably do it. Well, I'm waiting for this to start. Why is Reason not starting? There we go. All right, here we go. Actually, I'm thinking of doing like a little bit of a series, if you will, on mobile music making, with a DAW, with my iPad. I was thinking of going back to one of my more popular videos I've ever done was Gadget. If you've seen Korg Gadget, if you have an iPad and you don't have Korg Gadget, you really should get it. I'm not even kidding. It is probably my favorite iPad application, and I would say if I had a way to show you my history on my iPad, which I can't think of if there is a way to do that, there might be, but it's probably my most used application, honestly. I love that thing. It's just great. And let me grab my theremin. I misplaced my search file. There it is. Okay, so there's my background. Let's go in here for a second. Okay, so theremin PNG. I'm just looking for the background image while we're doing this. Let's see. Okay, so all right, let's get what this hooked up to. There's pitch. That's actually the wrong part. I'm going to go to exit the editor. I just want to go to here. We just take a snapshot of this. And we're going to change this to there we go. Now I got the settings. I needed that. And now we're going to go back over here. I'm going to shut this again. And I'm going to open up Reason 11. I should have done this the first time, but I forgot to. You know, this is basically one particular subscriber who asked for this, so I'm actually just doing it for them essentially, but really for everybody, I guess. Anybody who wants it. Let's just bring that back in here. All right, there's my theremin. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take these settings. There's a lot of things you can do with the Combinator 2. You can do with Reason 11. The only thing is, it's just not as nice, you know. Actually, I'll do them in order here. Volume, pitch, and we'll change its brightness. There we go. Okay, for a second I thought I lost my. You start to forget when you don't touch something for a while, I guess. All right, so rotary 1. I'm going to map to master volume. So we'll just go right down here. Thought it was right in there. Oh, amps, that's only 4 right there. All right, so that's between and that's fine, that's perfect. 2, let's get pitch. Let's go here. And engine 1, tuning. There it is. And that's going to be between -50 and 50. Is it already? That's already there. So that's for rotary 2. Brightness, rotary 3. I'm going to need 2 rotary 3s here. So I'm just going to change this one to rotary 3 and this one to rotary 4. Boom. All right. And the first one is going to go to engine 1 filter frequency. So engine 1 filter frequency. And we want, actually I have this backwards. My bad. Waveform engine 2 level. Okay. Let's change that. Engine 2. Oh, let's see one called level on here. That's weird. There we go. It's in mix. Sorry. The prefix of engine 2 made me think I was going to engine 2. And that's going to be -6 to anywhere after that. So let's go over here. right around there, and then this can go up to anything. It doesn't look like anything. Let's see. Can't really change that here. Kind of missed the visual aspect of the knobs. Probably, if I would estimate, go right around there. All right, and let's go to engine filter frequency. That's on rotary number 4. Engine 1, filter frequency, and that's going to be between 32 and 61. Let's bring this down. And then this one is going to be for just filter frequency. And that's going to be about 199 to 6.51. Oh, I just had 6.51. I hate that. There we go. Now the controls should be the same. And now we just need to, these buttons don't do anything. They're just going to hang out because that's the way life is in this thing. And trying to remember how to apply a different background to this. Devices, there's the programmer. It's right in here somewhere, actually. Select background. There it is. Okay. I just forgot for a second that it was a separate thing altogether. It wasn't actually integrated the way it is now. And let's go find the picture, which I do have in one of my windows here on the other side, my other screen. Just waiting for the search to complete. Take 1 second here. Sorry. All right. So, yeah, when this is done, I'll have this thing all done. I'm going to put this back up for this other guy who was looking for it, just so he has a theremin he can use in Reason 11. Completely unnecessary in a way to go this distance but I just trying to be in the spirit of Christmas and all. Give this guy a creepy Halloween theremin, It was a collaboration. This was actually a collaboration between myself and Brian Funk. Brian created this theremin for Ableton, and I just really was like, oh, that'd be cool. I should. And but then I was like, let me ask Brian if he's cool with that, because before I did it, he's a good dude, and I didn't want to be like stepping on his toes, because that's just not my style. I'm not the kind of person who uh, tries to profit from other people's efforts. You know what I mean? Obviously, not even profit from them. I made zero doing this. I was just doing this for fun, basically, and to give something away, which is what he was doing as well. So I wasn't cutting into his profits because he wasn't selling it. So if I wanted to give it away, it wasn't like I was saying, "Hey, don't pay for it. Take this free one." um, right now, just looking for the background, but it's not being cool and popping up for me. Come on, baby, you got this. Funny, I've got a super fast computer, and it's just really not fast at certain things. This is one of them. I mean, I'm probably not helping the situation by having as many drives as I have hooked up to this thing, though. I've got a lot of data online. I mean, just these videos. I have every one of these videos available to that I do. All the sounds I do, all the music I do, all the samples I do, sessions. Everything is just sitting here, accessible at a given moment. The problem is that when I go to look for something, it looks through all of them. Kind of my own fault for not remember where I put it, but I actually need to get in touch with Jacob Hack, just to say hello. It's been a while. I haven't talked to the dude in a while. He's a really good guy. Another one who does a lot of really cool stuff. And we've had, whenever I call and talk to him, or wherever I see him on his live stream, he always says, Captain, my captain. Which I can't remember what book that's from. I feel like it might be Moby Dick, but I can't remember. It's pretty funny because I'm like, it just makes me laugh when he does that. And he's from Sweden, I believe. He's a good guy. Come on. Okay, so it's not finding this image anywhere. That is so weird. All right, well, you know what we're going to do then? I will. This is probably good enough for now, and maybe I'll release one with a background image after. So I'll just save this combinator. And yeah, I'll let that user know that it's up there. So he can download it and mess around with that. And maybe I'll put a background on it after I'm off the stream. I don't know. I'll probably dig something up and make something for it, because I just feel like it looks a little naked without it. I do like my stuff to kind of look nice, because I come from a graphic design and artsy type background. I used to do a lot of illustration and a lot of graphic design work for various jobs in front end development. That's my kind of specialty, if you will. So if you when I make something, if I make it and it doesn't look appealing to me, I find it very unsatisfying to put it out there for anybody else. I'll be sure this is where I think it is before I disconnect and go back to my regular reason. Yeah, so it's in the Metacata folder. which is on scratch disk. Okay. That's where I thought it would be at. I can't speak today. Close that. Yeah, I haven't actually checked these out yet, but these are the new sound packs that have come out recently for Reason Plus. They had a really good deal on Reason Plus. I'm not normally a subscription kind of guy, honestly. I generally, don't believe in the subscription model, but they had a really good deal, and it was like $10 a month or something like that. And so I did sign up, and I paid the annual fee, to get access to the packs. Basically, I paid the bulk pay instead of like month to month, or I probably would have to cancel it right now because I had already because of the situation with the job. I went through and got rid of a bunch of streaming services already, so I'm like, all right, we don't even use half of these. I don't even know why I have half of these. It's like every time I say anything, of course, though, my family, my son primarily, will be like, but I'm watching a show on Hulu, and I'm watching a show on this, or watching a show. I'm like, I don't care. I'm like, dude, I'm paying for all these channels that we're barely utilizing. I kept the couple, I'll call them the primaries. I kept Netflix, and I kept HBO. HBO is paid for a year also in advance, and Netflix, I just can't. Netflix is the main one, I watch more Netflix than I do regular television. With my wife, anyway, we just watched a show called School of Chocolate. I think it was what it was called. School of Chocolate. I think it's School of Chocolate, and it's got this guy who's, I guess, a YouTuber or something who does really cool chocolate stuff. This French dude. And man, if you're looking for a show that is, in my opinion, how the cooking shows, the format that the cooking shows should be using, this is it. I mean, it's like the people who fail in the beginning, he takes and pulls aside, and he teaches them techniques and shares with them and helps build them up, rather than just tearing them down like, get off my show, you suck. In the end, I feel like nobody got let go of the show. There was one winner, but everybody had a chance all the way through the entire show to be that person. And everybody gained something from their experience there, because they all got to do a lot of the things that the whole show was about. I was thinking, man, that'd be a pretty cool way to run any kind of a learning scenario. Like if I were going to do like a instructor-led course in music production stuff, it'd be cool to be like, okay, I'm going to show you how to do this. I'm going to show you how to use compression. And now I want you to make a track using, whatever, compression and this, do a techno track, sort of like this track that I did, use compression somewhere in there, and tell me, and I'll listen to it and see what's what. And then we'll, judge you based off of whatever, and someone will win the round, whatever. But if you didn't win the round, I pull you aside and say, hey, I see you're having a tough time using, EQing maybe. Maybe your EQing was like punching me in the brain because you were high in the 2K section of your EQ, and every time the cymbal hit, it was like, drilled through my ear to the other ear. Like that, I could, pull you aside and show you, hey, here's some tricks to not do that ever again. And, this will help you in your production, and then in the end, everybody gains something from it. I specifically help you learn your rough areas. I gave you ideas to learn and build as we went along. And then in the end, somebody makes an amazing production, and that's that, I thought it was pretty cool. One of the things I've been working on, this has just been for fun, but this is not for anything except for I'm putting together some music for intro and outro of my videos and stuff on my YouTube stuff. This is just very, very early stage. I'm gonna let you hear it. If you want to let me know, if you hate it, let me know you hate it. That's cool. I just want to know, kind of get an opinion. So if you hear this, throw me a comment. Put something in the comments. Let me know what you thought of it. All right. So here we go. This is I literally just call it techno loop. It's nothing crazy. I haven't given it a name yet.
That's basically the whole loop. So basically, I'm putting that in just to be like something for the background, maybe an outro music or intro music for my videos. And I'm not sure. It's kind of like It's still very early, very rough, and I literally put it together in about an hour and a half. I mean, type thing of just like I should do something. What sounds do I want to use? I haven't actually had a lot of time to make a lot of music lately. I've had a lot of family things going on outside of here, and now I've got a job search to actually start. So that's always fun. Anyway, yeah. So I guess it's almost 12 o'clock, so I'm probably gonna wrap this up. I actually have to go sit with my mom. She's not feeling well, so family first, you know what I mean? Before music and all that, so I gotta go help her out. If anybody has any comments, questions, or whatever, when they see this video, let me know. Throw them in the comments. I will get back to you. To the subscriber who asked about that the theremin, I've got you covered. I'll be putting that up, and I'll put you a link in the comments that we have the chain that you and I have going. And if anybody else is interested, I'll be putting a link up on the theremin release video, where you can just download the Theremin Combinator 1 edition of the same instrument that I released for Combinator 2. The only difference was it wasn't like I did that consciously to stop anybody from using it a lower version. It was literally built using Reason 12. It's just what I was using at the time, and I didn't really think twice about the repercussions of who might actually want to use it outside of the fact that it was Reason 12. Anyway, all right, guys. Well, I'm going to rock and roll. Have an awesome day. Oh, I'm not going to rock and roll. I'm probably going to techno and trance, but you know what I mean. I will see you all in the next one. And if you guys... Yeah, it's good to see you too, Ivan, man. I'm glad you show up, man. You know, so we'll see what else comes of this video later on. I haven't heard from Secret in a while, and I guess I probably was a little abrupt with my announcement that I was going, but I kind of let you know ahead in that chat we had going on there on Facebook, I think. Anyway, but whatever. I apologize. Anyway, well, I hope everybody is doing well, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one, or your comments in this one. And if there's anything I can let you know, help you with, or if there's a particular instrument you're interested in getting for Reason, hit me up and I'll let you know if I can review it for you or whatever, if I've got it, or I have a ton of Reason instruments, so chances are I probably do have it. Anyway, have an awesome day, and I'll catch you in the next one. Probably be streaming next Saturday around at 10 or 10:30. I'll say 10:30 just to be sure. I'll stick to the 10:30 time slot. And also, I've got a video that's going to be coming up. It was supposed to be released yesterday, but it's not out yet. I'm going to be putting that out in the next couple days, so watch for that. Have an awesome day. Catch you later.